Alrighty, YouTubes. We are here to go through the spoilers from M21 for M21 core set 2021, which were released all throughout Friday. I mean, we have 70 cards to run through really quick, although there's not really 70 unique cards, as you'll see. But even looking at the reprint value we have in this set already, Wizards has done another good job with the core set, which I think a lot of people just quickly dismiss because they're core sets. But if we look at core set 2020, I think that's an underappreciated set because it, again, was a core set. People are like, whatever. But there's a lot of good cards in that set. And then core set 2019, I mean, that had Chromium in it. So, like, what more do you need to know? It's a great set. Core set 2021 is looking like the best of the three so far, at least from the powerful reprints and the obnoxious cards that we've seen spoiled already. So let's get into these. Core set 2021, first card, Bad Deal. It just seems kind of bad, like they nailed it with the name. You draw 2 cards, each opponent discards 2 cards, so I guess it's better for 2-headed giant, assuming we can even get those events to fire, and then each player loses 2 life. So I imagine, in limited, even if you play this thing on curve, you're drawing 2, losing 2, and your opponent is maybe discarding 1 or 2 cards. Just doesn't, I don't know how fast or slow this format will be, it just doesn't seem like a good card, not very excited about it. Jeskai Elder makes me think Prowess is going to be a thing in this set. Its ability, fine, but we got to see if there's any like draw discard synergies going on as well. And then this card, Reign of Revelation, this is from Modern Horizons, right? Yeah, draw 3, then discard a card. Makes me think there's got to be a discarding card synergy thing going on. Anyway, Shipwreck Dowser, again, shows Prowess is a thing. And when this one ETBs, you get to return instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. That's always pretty decent value. And if I remember correctly, Core set 2019 had whatever wizard, right? It was a 2/2 when it ETB'd. You got to return an instant or sorcery. This is a 3/3 with Prowess. Far better. Same amount of mana. So, good card. Anyway, Lana Visionary. This has probably got some Pauper fans excited. It's got, I mean, for limited, it's going to be great. 3 mana, get a 2/2 that ramps you a little bit, and you get to draw a card to replace itself. Like, that's fantastic. I don't know about Pauper, though. Like, outside of limited, like, I don't know what you cut for this card. I'm not a big, like, aficionado of Pauper or competitive Pauper. But they've basically slammed 2 cards together. Elvish Visionary, Llanowar Elves, becomes Llanowar Visionary. Welcome to your 2/2 ramper draw card. Primal Might, a little disappointed this is not an instant. Target creature gets +X/+X and then gets to fight something. So it's basically like a pump and removal spell in one, which is great if you're ahead, because you can, if you're ahead, assuming your opponent's struggling to just get blockers out, this says I win the game, hopefully, because you just get rid of their only puny blocker or chump blocker, and then you swing in with your big boy. In a way, it maybe becomes a double removal. I don't know how prevalent, let's say, Death Touch is going to be, or whatever interaction there'll be in the set. Like, it seems fine, but for a rare, I don't, like, that's going to be a really exciting rare to open. And then, what is this? Buffon Agitador. Nailed it. Playhem Devil. It's a 5/5. Whenever you sack something, deals 1 damage to any target. That'll be fun for limited. Black-red gonna have the sacrifice theme again. I will be shocked. What? Okay, pack leader. I'm pretty sure this is your, not buy box promo, your fat pack promo. Booster bundle promo will be the pack leader. Other dogs you control get +1/+1. I'm kind of mad I didn't make this video. I was gonna make a video about going through Maro's teasers of M21 cards, because in that list of teasers he had brought up, I was gonna say it was either gonna be hounds or dragons that get like their tribal thing that they didn't get before. Because I learned there wasn't a dog tribe. It was hounds. Till Core set 2021 came around, and now they're gonna errata everything to be dogs, which like just makes more sense. But I digress. This is a great card. If dog tribal is well supported, this will be a top tier limited card. Moving on, Gadrick the Crown Scourge. 5/4 flyer that can't attack unless you control 4 or more artifacts, and beginning your end step, get to create a treasure token every time something gets blown up. I guess non-token creature that died this turn. Yours or your opponent's, not too bad. Chromatic Orrery is, I mean, I'm not sure if this card is just bonkers good or just good. It's not going to be stupendous for limited. You're probably not going to play it. I mean, depending on what other cards are in the set, you're probably not going to play it. But for Commander, this thing seems bonkers, and I'm ready for whatever spicy brews we can come up with in constructed like standard to really take advantage of this thing. But this will be a Commander staple, I imagine, for some strategies. Okay, Wildwood Patrol, you're a 4-2 with trample. Moving on. Predatory Worm, you're a 4-4 with vigilance. And well, these two are part of the Garruk Planeswalker deck. So moving on. I do want to say I'm kind of like annoyed. Why don't they just let like Garruk's Warsteed? When it ETBs, why can't you just look for any Garruk Planeswalker? Right? Like why don't they make these tutor cards just let you tutor up any Chandra Planeswalker? To me, that would be a bit more on flavor too, and just give these cards even that slight bit more playability. Just a thought. Just a thought. I don't really spend too much time on these cards though, because I don't often buy the Planeswalker decks. I know some people are a big fan of them, but yeah, I don't know if any of these necessarily are going to break into standard. Deals 1 damage whenever you activate a Chandra Planeswalker ability. Cool. 2 damage to each opponent. Cool. 6 mana Planeswalkers are never anything to get too excited about. When Sprite of Malevolence dies, I'm not a huge fan of these watermarks that people put on the cards they get to spoil either. Although as someone who's not got to spoil a card, what do I don't got an opinion. I don't get an opinion on this, but it just feels kind of odd. It's like it's not your card. Or is it? I don't know. I'll know that feeling once I get to spoil a card. Maybe, eventually. Wizards, what more do you want from me? Okay. And then Teferis, look at how just happy, or is that a little bit of smugness there? Like he's like, wait till you see what else I got coming in this set. Oh, and this is the new Planeswalker. Basri, am I saying that right? He's all right, so he's not as arrogant as Oko, but he looks just as confident as Oko. And I'm assuming they don't make as bonkers a card because he's white, so the fact that he'll even be playable in any sense is a step in the right direction, we hope. But Basri, like the name, devoted paladin, always been a fan of the paladin class when playing D&D. So far, 2 thumbs up for the new Planeswalker. All right, now we're back into the cards for the set. Indulging Patrician. 1/4 flying lifelink for 3 mana is like not too shabby. Vampire Noble, big fan to see the vampires showing up. Beginning your end step, if you gain 3 or more life, each opponent loses 3 life. That's just a fun card. I like it. Here we're getting some Planeswalker removal with whoever at Scryfall comes up with these names. Top tier employee you have there. Make sure you're paying them enough because they're so clever. Big fan. Dementor's Prey. Destroy target creature or Planeswalker with converted mana cost 3 or less. And it's an instant? Yeah, it's an instant. Okay, so for 2 mana, instant speed removal, 3 mana or below is not too shabby. Although Teferi's not going to care because he's not 3 mana. Anyway, foreshadowing of the obnoxious Teferi to come. Fierce Empath. When it ETBs, you may search your library for a creature with converted mana cost 6 or greater. Put it in your hand. Now, 3 mana, 4/1/1. In limited, I'm kind of hesitant on this because my luck, if you've ever watched my drafts or my streams, I'm always going to have my most expensive stuff in my starting hand and then be mana screwed for the first 9 turns of the game. If you don't have a really high curve and you end up playing this thing and you've already got the cards you would tutor for in your hand or in your, whatever, you can't actually tutor for them, that's going to be all kinds of feel bad. But the fact that it tutors for your most expensive card, or essentially I'm assuming your win condition or at the very least a bomb, it's basically 3 mana, 1/1, draw your best card out of your deck, give or take. That's pretty sweet. This island artwork, huge fan of it. I have no idea where these are showing up, where we can get these. I really like this. This seems here. Wait until you see it in person. Totally could be completely different. This looks pretty epic. Big fan of that. Tormod's Crypt's getting a sweet reprint. I guess it's the same artwork, so it's not really sweet, but glad to see it. Ruined Halo, another reprint. Wait, is this Modern Horizon? No, this is Shadowmoor. Oh my goodness, look at that. A solid dollar card. Can't be too upset with that. And it's fancy full art or borderless art. Quairon Dryad. It's a 1/1 that when you play any other colored spell, basically non-green colored spell, gets a 1/1 counter. This could be fun. I'm kind of curious how this just plays in limited, but I imagine if you can play it on curve, you're going to be so happy about it, because whenever you play a 2-drop that commands removal, it just feels good, because that's protecting your bigger stuff, and it itself is going to get bigger. So far, a fan of this. Grim Tutor, probably the most eye-opening reprint in the set, because this thing is over $200 right now for the starter version, just because it hasn't been printed, not because it's that good. It's not $200 good. I will be shocked if this card stays anywhere near, let's say, $25 plus. That's because I don't know what the demand will be for this card in other constructed formats, because it coming in core set now means it's standard playable, modern, pioneer, historic. Playable, I imagine the demand for this will be 99.9% from Commander. And if that's the case, it's just a worse demonic tutor, but a better diabolic tutor. Or maybe I have this switched up. Point is, there's no way this card, it's $200 plus because of the scarcity, not because of demand and goodness. But this alt art borderless one, this thing is sweet looking. And because like this should not be a mythic rare. This is not mythic rare territory. I think it's only mythic rare because it's so expensive. If this was on the secondary market as a $10 card, this would have been a rare. I reckon. Call me crazy. We're moving on. This is probably my most like slam dunk card going in a commander deck, Veto Thorn of the Deskrows, because my first commander deck, you may know this, was Edgar Markov, and this is a vampire, so it's going in. Sanguine Blood ability, whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. It's a 1/3, and you can pay 5 to give all your creatures lifelink, which in limited will be stupid good, but the fact that it's a 1/3 that also just kind of gives you some synergy. We're seeing that the green-white, like this is very consistent with what Core Set 2020 was kind of about, right? And Core Set 2019, white-black was just life gain, synergy, fun stuff. Seeing it with Indulging Patrician, seeing it with Veto, looking good. Azusa, another high-value reprint. I had no idea that she had shot up to over $30 for that Masters 25 version. Just awesome. I have no idea what she'll drop down to. Probably not less than like 15, 20. Like that's nice to see a easily $10+ rare in a core set getting reprinted like this. And then I'm pretty sure this card got leaked, which I'm kind of bummed about, but Ugin is getting reprinted? What? I remember I bought 2 Fate Reforged Fat Packs just in the hopes that I would draw or pull one of these. Definitely did not happen. But now we have another shot at them with Core Set 2021. And all right, I'm a little like 3 versions of the same card, really, but this art's kind of cool. This art's also kind of cool. I'm really can't be too upset about it. I guess the only way you'd be upset about it is if you pull the normal one. Maybe. But it's the easiest to read. So pros and cons. Containment Priest also, I can talk. Containment Priest also getting a reprint. The Invocation's about $25. Okay, it's only like, all right, $2-3 card. I will say though, this art is pretty fantastic. I'm a big fan of this borderless art right here. Then we get the buy box promo, the most adorable card in the set so far. Rin and Seri, inseparable. Dogs and cats galore, and you can just pay 3, tap it, and it deals damage to any target equal to the number of dogs you control, and you gain life equal to the number of cats you control. This just feels like a fun card. This feels like a reason to make a commander deck. You know what I mean? If you don't know what you're doing out there with your buy box promo, you're building a commander deck with it because it's awesome. I also did not know that coming from Ikoria, we're going to see more crossovers. Apparently, Rin and Seri are going to be the next crossover with Homeward Bound. We just need to find the 3rd animal. I don't even remember what's in Homeward Bound, but this makes me think. Homeward Bound. Spark Hunter Masticore. This card is like one of the bigger sleeper, how good is it going to be kind of cards, especially for Commander. Because whenever, as an additional cost of this spell, discard a card. Fine. It's a 3/4 for 3 artifact, so it's going to go in any deck you really need it. It has protection from Planeswalkers, which is interesting. But the fact that you can just pay 1 to ping a Planeswalker seems really good. Like, really good. And then you can just pay 3 to give it indestructible. So if they're like, all right, fine, I'll just board wipe to get rid of your creature. No, you won't. Nice try, guy. Not today, says Spark Hunter Masticore. And it is, I mean, this thing is ominous looking. Is he standing on top of a Planeswalker? Is that what he's doing right now? Is that Teferi? No, okay. Moving on, Teferi's Ageless Insight. Little legendary enchantment action for 2 and 2 blue. If you would draw a card, except for the first one you draw, you get to draw 2 cards. Sorry, except for the first one you draw during your actual draw step, you get to basically draw 2 cards. It's a lot of card draw. And the next we got Fairies Tutelage. Again, kind of a smug look, but I can't blame him because he's like, do you understand how many cards we're drawing? Have you played Magic? Do you know how good it is and fun it is to draw cards? That's what I do. Whenever you draw a card, target opponent mills 2 cards. And the word mill is now official. I didn't realize that. Whenever it enters the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card. Whenever you draw a card, target opponent mills 2 cards. Not even a reminder text of what it is. You just know what mill is. That's awesome. That's so cool. Okay, the normal version has the reminder text. That's all right. It makes sense though. I'm assuming mill just comes from the word millstone that is back from antiquities or whatever. And the term mill, as in discard cards from your library or deck or whatever, has become like ubiquitous. Everyone knows what mill means, even if you don't know Magic, or you don't know the actual card it's inspired by, or where it comes from. And now it's an official language, mechanic, whatever, in the game. That's kind of cool. I like that. That's like my favorite thing about the set so far, is that mill is a thing. Okay, Teferi's Protege. 1 in a blue, tap it, draw a card, then discard a card. All right, again, we're just looting for days. Awesome. Where can we get these alternate borders? Are these just gonna show up in every pack? See, I don't know. And now we get into the most ridiculous part about this set, and that is the fact that Teferi, Time Master, has 14 different versions. Not 14, I exaggerate, it's only 9. It's also just an obnoxious card. I am fully prepared for this thing to be more annoying than 3 Fairy, but it very well may not be more annoying than 3 Fairy, because the fact that your opponent cannot play instants, cannot interact with anything you do ever as long as that card is on the battlefield, is obscene to me. Anyway, Teferi Master of Time will be in almost every Commander blue deck from here on out, because you can activate his loyalty abilities on any player's turn. So basically, you get to do it once on your turn, once on your opponent's turn, and you can do it at instant speed. What? So basically, he comes down, turn 1, you +1, draw a card, then discard a card. So he comes down, you loot a card, he's at 4. On your opponent's turn, if they have no way to deal with Teferi, you're just looting another card. If they do have a way to deal with Teferi, say a creature attacking, or they try and pump up their creature or do anything to their benefit, you get to phase it out, because phasing is back and everyone's excited. I don't think anyone's excited about phasing being back. Maybe you are. Let me know if you're excited about phasing being back. But basically, you get to take a creature on your opponent's side of the board and phase it out every other turn. Target creature you don't control phases out for -3. So he would be at 1, then it's your turn. You +1, you opt him. Not opt, but loot a card, pass to your opponent, loot a card again, your turn, loot a card, your turn, their turn, phase it out. So like every other their turn, you're phasing one of their creatures out. That's really annoying. And then if you ever get them up to 10, take 2 extra turns, that's awesome. And then for some reason, there's 4 different versions. And it took me a while to see what the art differences were. It's really just I'm assuming the time that he is mastering around his card. He's kind of got the whitish version. He's got the blackish version, bluish version. No green. There's no green version. Like I would see it not being, because we got blue here. I'm assuming one of these is supposed to be blue. There's no green. Is that because green and blue are the same color based on the cards we've seen as of late? There's no distinction between blue and green anymore. But my guess is it's like, this is him just showing I've mastered time in different colors too. Neat. And then we get, for some reason, the borderless, and then we get 4 of the fancy bordered. Like there's literally 9 versions of the same card. Why? Okay, moving on. Liliana, Waker of the Dead. Big fan of her. I like this simple artwork. There's something about it I just think is really cool and like draws me into the card. This borderless one, Wizards is doing really well with these borderless arts. As much as I want to just enjoy the traditional layout, these borderless cards are pretty cool. Gotta say, I'm a fan. Are you a fan? I'm a fan. Liliana, also just a big fan of her because she'll go in my wife's mono black commander deck. Each player discards a card. Each opponent who can't loses 3 life. Ooh, I could even play her in my new Kroxa commander deck. She'll be great in that. All right, cool. Gotta hope we get one. Target creature gets -X/-X till end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard. Sure. And then -7, her ultimate, you get an emblem. Beginning of your combat on your turn, put target creature card from your graveyard under your control against haste. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you get to resurrect something, give it haste. Every combat seems decent. Peer into the Abyss is the creepiest artwork in the set. We're just going to say it now. That's creepy, yo. That is... Who did this? Izzy? Mad lad or lady. Not sure, but madness. This is scary. Target player draws cards equal to half the number of cards in their library and loses half their life. For 7 mana. I definitely expected this to be a blue card, but nope. That is just nuts. Okay, and then Baneslayer Angel. 3 and 2 blue, 2 white. You get a 5/5, flying first strike lifelink, protection from demons and from dragons. So Lyra, right, was from Dominaria, and Lyra was like Esper's win condition for some stretch of time, or depending on what version of Esper control you were running, that was your win condition. Baneslayer Angel, I would say, is an equally, if not better, version of Lyra, just because that protection from demons and dragons may be important depending on what else is in the set. But basically, a 5/5 flying first strike lifelink card wins you the game on its own. It's basically Lyra, but not, because Baneslayer Angel's been around since when? Like Magic, for a while. Point is, for a while. Nice new reprint, card that's going to be worth $5+ and could definitely be standard playable. So, excited to see how good Esper Control gets now with their new Angel back for their win condition. Double Vision, definitely going to be a commander card. Don't know if it's going to make it into constructed, but we can definitely build some jank with it for sure. Because whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery, copy it. Like Value Town. Welcome to it. Mengara, the Diplomat. Here is where white finally starts to get some of its due ability from the color pie. I mean, 2/4 lifelink for 4 is nothing to write home about. But whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you and or planeswalkers you control, draw a card. So if they're swinging out at you, you're drawing cards. Feels good. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, you're also going to draw a card. No idea how good or bad this card will be. Bad will probably never be used to describe it, but good. I'm happy to see white finally getting some recognition and some card draw and some ability that should no longer or ever be siloed to like blue and black. That's just, I just don't understand that at all. If y'all need someone to help make those arguments for expanding the color pie in a direction that keeps the colors balanced with each other, I'm happy to make those arguments. I feel I can make those arguments as good as anyone, because whoever's debating for blue just seems to be winning every debate. I would like to debate that person. That's what I'm going to end this video with. I want to debate who's ever deciding that blue gets all of this awesomeness and white has been thrown to the curbside. Although props to whoever's been debating for white, because they got a card finally, right? But there's a lot of good reprints in this set. There's already some just exciting new cards to look at as well. I'm excited to see what Basri's non-Planeswalker deck version card is. Hoping it's pretty solid, but not like Oko over the top solid. Good reprints, good value so far in a core set. I'm obviously excited to play with it because it's a new set. And of course, there's a lot of these cards that are going to be super good in Commander, which I don't know if, like, the more I didn't buy any of the Commander 2020 precons, I'm kind of wishing I did. And it's tough because Card Kingdom just got a ton of Commander 2020 decks stocked or in stock. So if you need any, pick them up there. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I'm excited to check out the new spoilers that are coming out. Just staying up to date on what's going on in the set. We'll see you in the next video. Take it easy. Peace. And last but not least, you can go to Card Kingdom and pre-order Core Set 2021 right now. You can get sealed or singles, whatever you need. Card Kingdom's got you covered. But that's going to do it for us. We're out.